So a little bit about us. First of all, on behalf of 4,000 newsletter subscribers, we used to have less than 2,000 before the election, and on behalf of 800 plus volunteers that have worked in Woodland, Davis, and West Sacramento activist circles, and all the folks over there on that table, thank you very much. And also, just the, I just want to thank the Yolo Dems for this recognition today. So probably most of you already know our origin story. It started, Indivisible Yolo is the local chapter of Indivisible national organization that was founded right after Trump got elected the first time in Trump 1.0 to fight MAGA extremism with that election. And our dual mission is to do two things: to elect progressive candidates and to hold electeds accountable. And those are our only two missions. And at this point, if we don't have a democracy to work with, that makes the second one very difficult. So the mission has led us to do a lot of things, mostly in the electoral side. We mobilize volunteers to register voters, canvass, call, write letters, do all the postcards, etc. in elections far and wide. We work mostly out of district. So if past is prologue and 2018 blue wave is rendered once again in 2026, then we will get a House majority that will not play court jester to the would-be king. And that's the important part. But our work, and it's not just about Texas and Trump, but election, our work now is actually far more urgent than just waiting for the elections to rescue us from this fascist. We really can't afford to wait that long. And the dismantling of the democracy that's been already articulated this evening and his narcissistic tendencies and all his co-conspirators, we must build a movement that is built for the task at hand. And that task is to undermine the structures that support the authoritarian regime through any peaceful, nonviolent, strategic non-cooperation, not limited in scope necessarily. We must give strength to our electeds who stand up to exercise every bit of power they still have to slow the roll of autocracy and fascism, but we must also work with other institutions in our community: business, academia, media, labor, faith groups, police, military. All have faced choices they've never faced before. And they hear the pressure to capitulate from above. We are here to remind them that we, the people, rule, and that the short-term capitulation can have long-term consequences, and that they indeed have agency. Each of us can and must choose to not cooperate. This may not be the time yet for a general national strike or larger action or whatever, but we will be out there, and we will continue to protest peacefully, to be in the streets with an emphasis on nonviolence and safety for everybody that's attending. And we will be exploring new forms of non-cooperation, from disinvestment, boycotts, to simply gathering in community with our fellow progressives to plan an action. No act of non-cooperation is too small, because all of them bring in new voices and remind people like us that we are part of growing and peaceful and powerful resistance. So, given our priorities in the past, most of the time we work on out-of-district races, which means the Yolo Dems focus on local politics. So we may not have always walked together with you because we were in different districts, but with the authoritarians not at the gate, but in the building, we now must work together. We must not comply. We must not capitulate. We must stand our ground and stake our claim to a future in a robust democracy. And I would ask that each of you make a commitment to continue your efforts to win both at the ballot box and to take action to push back now. That's my ask of you. And whether you're a progressive or a moderate or whatever, this is not an either-or moment. Clearly, this is a time for both and: winning elections and resisting fascism at every step. So I welcome any of you to join us in whatever our actions are, and thank you for the recognition.